Charlie Kirk died. He was on stage doing his usual college campus tours, and he was shot. His wife and children are in attendance too. Imagine being a child, watching your dad die. Nobody deserves that. And nobody deserves these constant crocodile tears from the left that we've been seeing all over the place since Charlie Kirk's passing. Because we know it's a load of bullshit from these repugnant bastards that took his life.
His wife and children were in attendance, dude.
They were in attendance.
Imagine.
Read the script. Looking down, reading.
You know.
You know.
Imagine being a 12-year-old. You know, watching your dad fucking die.
Die. Like you care. Bullshit.
Nobody deserves that.
Nobody deserves that.
Not even Charlie Kirk.
Not even Charlie Kirk. I just regularly attacked him all the time. Nobody deserves it. Not even Charlie Kirk. But here's the real reason we got that response from Dean here in his second video covering that.
His two young children who were... Charlie Kirk is dead. He got shot at an event that he was hosting in Utah. And I am sad, distraught. In fact, I just cried on my live stream in front of 250,000 people. My
You know it's all true, my sadness and my sorrow, when I cry on live stream for 250,000 people. It most certainly wasn't a performance while I perform. No, it was genuine sadness. I was genuinely sad that Charlie Kirk's life was taken away. I'm most certainly not using this as an opportunity to drive my political opinions, beliefs, and objectives.
Videos to tell you why I feel this way.
Why?
If you want to end gun violence, it is something that you can never celebrate.
Gun violence. That's right. That's what this is, Dean. That's all this is. It's gun violence. It's Charlie Kirk being politically assassinated. Is zero difference between two gangbangers shooting each other out in the middle of the street. It's no difference from a true coming in and gunning up a church or a school of some kind, like Annunciation just like 2 weeks ago. Like, yeah, it's all just gun violence. Whoop-de-doo-dah. This isn't any different from any other shooting we've ever had. No. It's not particularly unique in whatever way, saying it's the second successful political assassination we had this year. Like, are you fucking kidding me here? I'm sad about it, but we need to talk about gun violence. No, not political violence. This is most certainly didn't come from the left. It's the gun's fault Charlie was shot. It's the gun's fault that this happened. Not a person, not a political ideology, and most certainly not the people who make these opinions and beliefs widespread.
It is always disgusting, always vile, and always abhorrent. It should come as no shock to yourself when I tell you that I think Charlie Kirk was a bad person. I've made that very clear over the last...
Yep. I don't like Charlie. He's a bad guy. He is evil. He is wicked. You can scroll through Dean's X. Scroll through it, seeing all his responses or things he has to say about Charlie, and they're all still there. He thinks he's not just a horrible person. He thinks Charlie Kirk is one of the worst people out there. Because Charlie Kirk can definitely be given the credit of all of the work and all the things that he did in getting the Republican youth to rally behind Donald Trump and vote for him. So yeah, Dean definitely has a huge bullet to bite with him on that one, being that he absolutely despised Trump and considers him to be some sort of evil, super Nazi dictator of some kind.
But does that mean I think he deserves to lose his life? No. Does that mean I think his two young children, who were in attendance at the event where he was shot, deserve to watch their father die?
No, I just think he was a bad person, a bad father, a bad husband. I think he was bad all around, all across the board. You know? I don't think he deserves to die. He's literally Hitler. He's Satan. He's a Nazi. He's a total piece of trash. Yeah, Dean. Charlie Kirk is definitely 100% a white supremacist Nazi Hitlerian. Yeah? See where your rhetoric gets you? See where what happens?
Does that mean I think they deserve to grow up without him? No. Does that mean I think that his...
Well, here's a question for you, Dean. Do you think his children will grow up to be better? Not having their father in their life? Not having his right-wing rhetoric and political opinions and beliefs being shoved down their throat and being dogmatized by the church? Do you think it would be better if his children would listen to things that you have to say on your streams and podcasts and tweets and posts on TikTok and other places? Do you think you should replace Charlie Kirk's children as their father?
Who was also there, deserved to lose her husband? No. And honestly, if you answered yes to any of those questions, there's a very clear line drawn between me and you. I don't want your support, and I don't support you either.
Funny thing for him to say there. I don't support you, and I don't want your support either. Well, there's been a lot of other right-wingers that Dean has supported and does work with that actually disagree with his opinion on these things. And a good close friend of one of them is... Harry. Stop sharing that fucking video of Charlie Kirk! It's horrific. His family doesn't deserve that. Just as total loss for words. Nobody should know about this. Nobody should witness what actually happened. No, just shut up, guys. You're the bad ones for sharing the video. Don't heckle the people that are saying this was a good thing. Don't heckle the people that are spreading in saying, yes, he got exactly what he deserved, or all the people trying to cover it up. No, just be silent. Don't make a fuss. Don't make it a political commotion. Oh, wait. Charlie Kirk is a sick, racist piece of trash! Just put the Klan hood on already, Charlie. Just put the Klan hood on, you racist white supremacist. But he didn't deserve to die. But he's an evil KKK Klansman who's hanging black people in the streets regularly. So what should we do to him if he advocates for political violence like that? Well, we know exactly what it deserves. And it's the same thing that Harry's buddies have all advocated for many, many times. Many different left-wing streamers have come out about this. And they all try to cover up. They all want to cover up their evil, nasty rhetoric of things they've said in the past that they want to be done by right-wingers.
There is a closer footage of Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck here as well, where you can oh, he's dead. Oh my God, he's definitely dead. Oh my God, I can't believe I just saw that. Oh my God.
Oh, does he seem sad? Does he seem sad like Dean was crying, or does it seem like he's just covering his face to cover his smile and his smirk of Charlie Kirk getting whacked right on stage for everyone to see? I'm sure Hassan has this saved. It has multiple GIFs and animations and memes about it, celebrating it on his computer. I'm 100% positive he's got those. Oh, I'm sad. Clearly.
Oh my God. Oh, he definitely got shot in the neck. Oh my God.
Oh my God, is that all you can say? You don't even believe in Jesus Christ, Hassan. You're not even a properly practicing Muslim. What do you mean, oh my God? You ain't give a shit about God, Christ, or Christianity, which is why you don't give a shit about Charlie Kirk's death.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Real sad. They all gotta go. See, he even smirked right there. He was smiling. He's like, what do I say that's not gonna get me in trouble?
Yeah. No, that footage.
That footage.
You do not want to see that. You do not want to see that. You do not want to see that. That footage.
Bad to see.
Footage, the close-up footage shows very clearly, immediately blood pouring out of his jugular. He gets shot in the neck, blood pouring out of his jugular.
He just resolves to describing it. He can't say this is like the horrible thing that shouldn't have happened in that moment. He's just like, wow, that's really bad. No, it's just like, oh, look at that blood. Look at all splurring out of his body and face. If you actually slow down the footage, the second Charlie gets shot, you watch his entire face and neck just impulse forward from the impact of the bullet being a .30 caliber. Just putting all that pressure through his entire body, where you know he died the second that hit.
An unimaginable amount of blood pouring out of his jugular. There is very, very little chance that he survived that. I don't know if he did, but it doesn't.
But I don't think he survived, guys. You know, awesome.
Seem like it. Oh my god. That was fucking devastating. Holy shit. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I can tell you don't know what to say. Because what you want to say is to be celebratory and congratulate the shooter.
Oh my lord. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Literally.
Holy fuck. America is so absolutely fucked.
You're fucked, Hassan. You're absolutely fucked. You're invoking Jesus Christ, something you don't actually subscribe to or believe in, but Charlie did the day he died. You know, you're basically just committing blasphemy here. But what does Hassan actually think? What are Hassan's real beliefs and how he really feels about this whole thing? America's insanely violent nation. Charlie Kirk's shooting is the 46th school shooting this year thus far. Oh, it's just a school shooting, guys. It's just a school shooting, just like Dean. It's just gun violence, guys. It was a political assassination, Hassan. You're playing it down way, way lower than how big of a deal it is. You know, Charlie Kirk was probably the number one representative on the right for e-celebrities out there. You know, he was a self-made man for all of his efforts and work throughout the years on college campuses to turn people away from liberalism. He was the guy, and he was gunned down very, very early on in Trump's presidency. And here's some more. Oh, here's Matt Walsh. All Charlie did was have conversations with people. He didn't insult anyone. He made arguments. He debated. He wasn't an extremist by any way. Everyone who knew Charlie personally loved him. That's the kind of guy he was. Charlie Kirk opposed the Civil Rights Act, called George Floyd a scumbag, said he'd be worried about black pilots, and that he'd be force his daughter to carry a pregnancy to term if she was raped. He shouldn't have been killed, but he definitely was an extremist and deserved it. He deserved it because he's a radical. He deserved it because he's an extremist. He deserved it because he's a KKK, Klansman, Nazi fanatic. Yeah. Being a little bit honest for once here, Hassan, because we've all seen the clip.
Fucking showing.
We've all seen the clip here, Hassan, of what you really want done to right-wingers.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts. On there, okay? You
Blood.
need to be gutting them.
Gutting them.
You need to be shanking these motherfuckers.
Gutting them like a fish.
Letting their intestines just ride on stage.
Rip them apart on stage. Assassinate them on stage. They're up there at your college campus. Take them out.
Man, slice them up.
Slice them. Dice them.
And fucking dice them. What the fuck is this?
Chippity
chop. You could
chop.
not have a bigger fucking layup.
Bring the wood chip.
You could not have had a bigger fucking layup.
You could have not had a bigger opportunity to commit political violence and assassinate someone on stage. That's what he's referencing right there. That's what he's calling for directly. Still has a Twitch channel. Fun fact.
And a horrible candidate like Herschel Walker. Sure, he was...
Kill Herschel Walker. He was on stage here. Take him out.
Prepared very well. And Herschel Walker actually had a good...
thing we do need to make sure we do.
Here's another guy. You know what? I really don't care about all these other ones. Because there's a number of them in here, all calling for violence and all these different things. And it really just doesn't matter. Except for the last one right there, I guess. We got Hassan again.
For Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like, that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office. And he's resigning. Like, he's literally, this is his last term. So,
that's right, we threatened him with violence and now he's resigning. Excellent political actions there, everybody.
so I think that people are a lot more radical. It's hurt poor people that they can afford housing in Berkeley. I don't know how that works.
My understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets
How dare you not rent out your house? How dare you not rent out your house? You must be killed for it. Kill the landowners. Kill the renters. Jesus, not renters, but whatever. Whatever. Just like, come on, Assad. Come on here, bro. I'm so really sad. Whoa, that's really unfortunate. But really, inside, it's just like, oh, yes. Great work, everybody. Excellent team effort. And then the other ones, obviously, that came out and made some jokes about it, too. Of course, Vosh. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. This is the photo of the guy they originally arrested for shooting Charlie Kirk in the beginning that turned out not to be the real shooter. And Vosh's only response is, Jesus Christ. Blaspheming the Lord. Again, another atheist, doesn't believe in it. And his response is to just spit on Charlie Kirk's grave. Jesus Christ. And there's all of them. And here's another one. Here's Destiny, the streamer. You know, child porn aficionado, Stephen Banal Destiny, reviewing the shooting live on his show.
Counting gang violence. Great.
Whoa! That was cool! That was awesome! Excellent shot!
Whoa! He's super dead! Holy shit! Okay, well...
Okay.
Let me go, make sure my door is locked.
Let me get up and kind of think about the words I want to say so I don't come off unhinged and crazy like Hassan does regularly. I don't want another clip of me calling out for violence. It's something I'm really excited for. Whoa! Alright guys, I need to take a breaker so I can think about what I can say and not say on my channel and on my show live for everyone to witness and clip. I don't want to be taken out of context. I don't want to be taken out of context, out of my joy for violence. No. I'll just tweet about it. Make a bunch of jokes. Literally minutes within, we found out that Charlie Kirk was shot. Destiny was on top of that, dropping all the hot memes, dropping all the hot takes, just being like, what can I do and say that's so edgy is going to get me all the clicks and likes and views that I desire? Who's going to do it? Update your wiki. Who's gonna add it? Who's gonna add the update to Charlie Kirk's wiki that he's dead? Ha! Funny joke there, Steven. Tim Pool. Sources tell me Charlie is stable. Please, God. Why would you tweet something this fucking retarded? Why would you tweet this? Why would you tweet some optimism? Come on. We saw that video. He's dead. Here's another one. Here's Among Us All coming out and responding. Anyone surprised at what happened to Charlie Kirk hasn't been paying attention. Go anywhere, Reddit, Twitter, etc., and you'll find thousands of unhinged, delusional retards from the left celebrating it. Destiny, just casually posting his joyful little gun. I encourage people to get stuck behind the pro-Hamas mobs blocking traffic. Take matters into your own hands to get them out of the way. It's time to put an end to this nonsense. Yeah. Destiny right there, sharing that guy's post with that image there, saying, hey, we should do this too. We should make all these kinds of responses here. Got another one here. Prayers for Charlie Kirk and his family. Shocked black man face. Just shocked. Like, why would I pray for Charlie Kirk? This is a great thing. This is an opportunistic thing. This is everything we wanted and called for, including myself.
Right?
But no. Don't blame me. It's I may have called for it in the past. Hassan's called for it, Bosch has called for it, but listen. It's the conservatives' fault. It's the conservatives' fault that this actually happened in the first place.
Also, like, shooting and everything is bad. It's bad.
It's bad.
But, like, this is, like, for conservatives, this is, like, kind of fuck around and find out. This is what they want. Remember.
Fuck around, find out. You see? It's the conservatives' fault. That's Destiny's dichotomy right there. For everything that the left does that is unhinged, ridiculous, and insane, there's a conservative to blame for it.
You're like
Charlie's to
National
blame
Guard to
for it.
places. You're sending the Marines around. You're talking about us, go to war with people. Like this is what we're kind of gearing up for.
What do you mean? Donald Trump sending the National Guard and ICE and FBI around to all these sanctuary cities so he can actually enforce his policies? Wow, it's almost like that's what the executive branch is supposed to do, is to enforce the law that they make. Hello? Where's the crime? He's acting like an unhinged dictator. He should have behaved the same way he did in his first term in 2016, where all the cities and all these metropolitan areas were like, we're sanctuary areas. We will not cooperate with ICE. We will not let you in to round up the illegals, and we're going to be a safe zone for them. And Trump, in his next presidential year and in time in office, he's just like, well, you guys are going to do it again, and they did, and he's going to have a response. Wow, but it's the conservatives who fucked around and found out with that one, right? It's always the right's fault for the left's actions.
I mean, you can't really be surprised when this is the kind of shit that's happening, right? Like, when politicians are getting killed, when people are, acting fucking unhinged and insane, and you're all feeding into this like crazy, like, yeah, there are going to be deaths on both sides of it. That's how it works. That's how...
It's just how it works. And he's not wrong there, I guess. But is it the right wing's fault for the left's killing people? Like, come on. The illogic consistency here, man. Are we supposed to, blame, if a husband goes in and murders somebody, are you going to blame the person they murdered? Like, come on. This is stupid.
This is how, a degenerating democracy appears. I mean, it's kind of stupid to act surprised on this.
The same. All right, we'll continue to follow this show.
Also...
And like I said, Destiny wants to play it off. It's the right wing's fault. It's the right wing's rhetoric. It's the right wing's actions that the left shot a right winger. No. It's nothing we have to do. I didn't call for violence. This is the fucking retard that got killed at the Trump rally. Fucking Lamau. Just making fun of a dead fireman. Died on stage in front of his family. Don't you mean the bleachers he wanted to die on? This is the hill you want to die on. Commenting and responding to that. Don't you mean bleachers? Huh? Go outside and take a walk. I'm sure Corey and Babbitt are both having fun with each other in hell right now. Oh! But it's the right's fault for this. And if you think, oh, well, they're just tweets. They're just written posts. He's most certainly never advocated for violence with his own words on stream before. Most certainly not. He's only done it regularly.
You genuinely do hate conservatives, don't you?
Very much so. I've moved full on to the political violence level, or the real violence level. When
real
it comes
violence.
To conservative people. Yeah, I think they need to be excised from my fucking country. I think they are demonstrably fucking evil people by any moral system that most people would use.
Any moral system you use, the right must, without discernment, be executed and expelled from the nation.
And then I just hate them because they tend to destroy the outcomes related to this country, which is what I'm concerned with. Yeah, absolutely.
It's the outcomes. Really ironic there. Really ironic thing there that you call for violence, but yet you blame the right for the violence against Charlie Kirk. And it's the outcomes? You just want the better outcomes? Is this the better outcome you wanted, Stephen? Did you really want Charlie to die? Just go ahead and admit it. Say it. It's okay. I'm sure all of your left-wing buddies will be perfectly fine and support you with it. What's the worst that could happen? The president gets wind of it? Oh, and it's loading. What fun. Stalling time because the stupid video won't play. Reopen.
How about your parents? They get their brains blown out at a rally. Would you have the same attitude? They are democracy-hating insurrectionists, after all.
Of course you would.
One, you permaban for asking a stupid question, because the obvious answer two is, listen, they're adults. They make their own fucking decisions.
They're adults. Their own fucking decisions. Of course I support my parents getting blasted for not sharing my political beliefs. What an insane fucking take Steven has. And we're not even through them all yet, because there's an endless stream.
Disgusting for years, which is why I don't give a fuck about anybody that winds up at any of these rallies and gets shot or whatever the fuck, okay? Because they had no problem making making fun of Paul Pelosi. The entire world would be better off if these people were permanently removed from these platforms. Like, there is
Just ejected into the sun from these platforms.
no downside and only upside to see people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Tim Pool never be allowed to publicly broadcast their opinions ever again. It's exclusively bad.
Literally just the most mainstream milquetoast representatives on the right. He's like, I have zero reconcilable of opinions with them. You know, we can't come to a cohesion, a conclusion, an agreement with one another. No, I absolutely despise these people.
Fuck it. Fuck the dude, the firefighter guy.
Fuck him.
Fuck Trump. Fuck the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay? Just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, you don't, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, you know, getting blown away or whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am.
I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. You know, at the end of the day, you deserved it because you were there. Simply being there alone, supporting Trump in any fashion, means you deserve a bullet. And Destiny will even elaborate even farther with this. Because
Conservative response to
he doesn't think, you know, other people on the left should take this half-assed, you know, we support Charlie, we'll feel bad about what happened. No, he's just like, yeah, he's just a piece of shit, and anyone who disagrees with me on this is a cuck and a coward. Speaking from a man who literally let his wife plow other dudes.
One shot. Yep.
All right.
What do you think conservative response to this will be? It's going to be the exact same response that it always is. It's going to be blaming the left. It's going to be a call for more aggressive rhetoric towards the left. It's going to be a call for the left to condemn or disavow or whatever the fuck. Anybody on the left that does any sort of disavow, whatever bullshit, I think is cucked and weak. I saw Newsom do it.
They're cucks! They're weak! They're even a bigger cuck and weak-limbed individual than Destiny himself. No. But the right, they're just going to respond and say, it's the left's fault. Well, it was.
Earlier. At some point, you have to realize all these people have the same opinions the second this political assassination happens. And people on the right are like, I think someone left-wing did this. They're like, whoa, don't jump to conclusions here. Why would it be someone on the left doing this? We didn't just have the Annunciation mass shooting at the church here, you know, in Minnesota. No. We didn't have another pretty recently school shooting from a troon out in a church out in Tennessee. No. These things don't happen. The left aren't violent. If I hear
Whether
any
underground?
mainstream conservative say, we need to bring the temperature down, then I'll start taking it seriously. But until then, fuck that. I don't think same thing I said on the
The right wing needs to start it. The right wing needs to say we need to turn down the temperature the second this happens. You know, it has to be on the right side to say we feel bad for Charlie and the shooter. No. The left aren't going to initiate this lowering down the temp. They're going to go to the extreme. They're going to go maximize the radicalization of their positions. No. It's up to the conservatives to temper it down, step back. You know, we're going to just keep persevering forward and constantly winning all the time because we know you guys are just that much of cuck losers, and you'll do that anyways at some point because that's who you are, right? It'll always go on this trend. And if you don't think that's like most obvious thing where Destiny's calling for violence here, doesn't have any problems with political assassinations, well, he gets even more elaborate with it.
Cleansing? I'm ready for the great cleansing, dude.
The great cleansing.
Cleansing?
The cleansing.
What cleansing?
When we genocide conservatives in this country.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be on the streets with your Glock?
Maybe. I gotta go back to Nebraska and grab it. I'm ready.
It was just a joke, right, guys? He doesn't actually call for political violence. He just said it many years later that he's sick of them. He's done with them. And he always was. He always never wanted to work with them in whatever way or fashion. No. And he even had another one recently where he basically delivered his true opinions on Charlie Kirk, what he actually thought about him. Who was this man that he doesn't actually have a problem with using political violence whatsoever, and may make a disavowal, but at the end of the day, we know what you truly think about him. Because what you truly think about him were the things you said about Charlie before he died.
Charlie Kirk, I hate Charlie Kirk. I think he's actually a Satan spawn, but he's very, very strategically minded.
I hate Charlie Kirk. I hate Charlie Kirk. He's literally Satan. He's literally Hitler. He's literally a KKK Klansman. Yeah, that's who Charlie was, right? That's who he was. If anything, most people would be like, Charlie didn't really go far enough. And now we're seeing the results of that. And, Destiny, it's not just like these celebrity streaming type of people that are making rhetoric and claims like this. No, actually, currently elected officials of public office from that represent a portion of the Democratic Party are saying the exact same things. They're going to come out and be like, I support Charlie, but then a week earlier they were just calling for mass violence and mass attacks against right-wingers. Like Gavin Newsman. Destiny mentioned him. He cooked, man. He should stick with his violent opinions on things. The attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible in the United States of America. We must reject political violence in every form. Yet, Gavin, you said this on a podcast pretty recently.
Appreciate that. I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
Punch these sons of bitches in the mouths. Take them out. We need to accelerate things, get things more violent, be a little bit more mean about it, because that's what they're doing to us, so that's how we must respond. Or it was just the inevitable response. And it's not just Gavin Newsman, but our good old Governor Tim Walz here, the man who created a gay club in Nebraska, had his own little opinion on Charlie Kirk to say, where he's like, political violence is bad, bro. Breaking news, right-wing activist Charlie Kirk was shot at Utah Valley University event. An open forum for political dialogue and disagreement was upended by a horrific attack of targeted violence. Not political violence, not a political assassination, which it was. No, just targeted violence, just playing it down as much as he can, so he could just be as little as called out for it as possible. But, we're not going to let him slide here. In America, we don't settle our differences with violence or at gunpoint. I'm praying for Charlie, with the God I don't believe in, and his family and his young children. Yet, last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you heard about this little rumor here. There was a little rumor going around that Donald Trump died. And because he's not tweeting on social media or posting on social media, then he's dead. And Walz was a little bit sad when he found out he wasn't dead, because he wants him dead.
You get up in the morning and you doom scroll through things, and although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news.
There might be news. We might get news that Donald Trump is dead. That would be really good, positive news for us.
Just saying.
Haha, just saying.
There will be news sometime. Just so you know, there will be news.
There will be news. One of these days, there will be a death of a serious, important right-winger out there. And guess what? Walz got what he wanted. Not necessarily with Trump, but I'm sure he didn't shed a tear for Charlie's passing. And here's another clip of Walz calling for violence. And we know his motive for why he believes there needs to be violence. Because this government that we are currently living underneath is a regime, a dictatorship of literal fascists. Coming from a communist.
And I don't think any of us can. I'm getting called out on this because I called Donald Trump a wannabe dictator. It's because he is. It's because he is.
He's a dictator.
Oh.
He's violent. He's rounding up the masses.
Being mean, and the governor's speaking out on that. Well, maybe it's time for us to be a little meaner. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce.
Sounds a lot like what Gavin Newsman said. I wonder if you have the same rhetoric being handed to you by the same officials that are driving the narrative.
Because we have to ferociously push back on this. And again, I'll speak to my teacher colleagues in here.
Go on the attack,
teachers.
teachers.
What bothers a teacher more than anything is to watch a bully, to watch this bully, and to stop it. And when
he's
it's
a bully,
you talk to him and you tell him why bullying's wrong. But when it's adult like Donald Trump, you bully the shit out of him back. You push back. I could code.
You push back. You attack back. You fight back like hell.
Talk to white guys watching football fixing their truck.
First of all, we don't speak in code. We're not.
I don't think that video has anything more on it. Oh,
We're not aliens.
Yeah. That's it. That's Tim Wall's opinion on it. Tim Wall's covering his ass. He's like, I don't support violence. But then on stage, he's like, hit him harder! Attack, attack, attack! Be mean because they're buoys! They're buoying us! AOC also came out with remarks on it, and they're kind of quiet.
I mean, I think what has just transpired is tremendously disturbing. It is the latest instance of political violence.
It's the latest instance of political violence. At least she addressed it as political violence, but not a political assassination that it was. But hold your horses. She'll say what she really thinks, because obviously she's a politician, and there's a political narrative to spin everything.
The United States and it must
You have your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment.
What do you have to say to your fellow Republicans in the Senate about this political violence and what we need to do about it?
Message you have to your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment and the rhetoric that has been put out in the media.
You know, beyond rhetoric, we need to talk about action. And we need to talk about, yes,
action.
There are words, but most importantly,
there's
we
action.
are in a job of leadership. We are in a job of action. We are in a role and a position where the American people are looking to us to do something about this.
Yes.
And
What's
every
this?
single day, people are dying due to gun violence in America.
Gun violence in America. She's like, it's political violence. Well, hold up here. What about, she's like, what about all this like violent rhetoric being spread around? And she's just like, ignore the violent rhetoric. No, that's not happening. It's gun violence. And the Democrats have been regularly trying to stop gun violence by taking away all the guns. Yeah, that's really gonna stop it all, AOC. Really brilliant stuff from her and her Green New Deal that came out many years ago. And she's not the only one coming out about this. No. All the Lib Dems are. All the Dems are coming out, calling these things out and capitalizing on this political violence and assassination.
Is unacceptable.
Talking about Charlie Kirk.
Well, look,
Chuck
bottom
Schumer.
line is this is a time that all Americans should come together and feel and mourn what happened. Violence, which affects so many different people.
Just come together, guys. Come on. Just come, lock arms with your leftist pals and agree with us and sing Kumbaya. Don't blame the left for this. Don't blame our rhetoric for us. We're not to blame. No. We just need to come together as a country.
Of so many different political persuasions is an affliction of America. And coming together is what we ought to be doing, not pointing fingers of blame. At this moment...
Oy vey. We shouldn't be pointing fingers of someone to blame. No. Just come together. Just completely dodging everything, the scenario. Every single one of these disgusting freaks out there are just like, well, we can't do that. No. We're the political force and representation of the left. Right-wingers, lock arms with us. Please don't blame our constituents that voted for us and our actions and the things we advocate for. No. And it got so bad. Not only did they have to get all these political figures out to address this, to denounce it, and be like, we don't actually call for violence. No, we need to turn down the steam, turn down the heat, turn down the separarization and the radicalization of the right, that they had to wheel out these fucking bozos here. Joe Biden, there's no place in our country for this kind of violence. It must end now. Jill and I are praying for Charlie Kirk's family and loved ones. Oh, we're praying for them. Aren't you Catholic? You know, Charlie wasn't part of your church, I'm sorry, but according to Catholic doctrine, Charlie ain't making it in the happy place. He ain't making it to heaven. He's not in the good graces of Christ because of his works. And that's not a dig at Catholics, it's just a fact. And then they also wheeled out this retard. We don't yet know what motivated the person. Stop blaming the left. It's not our fault. We're innocent. Look at me. I'm President Barack Obama trying to turn down the heat. person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk. But this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Michelle and I will be praying for Charlie's family tonight with our, especially with my wife Erica and their 2 young children. And if all the politicians are coming out about it, all the streamers are coming out about it, the media is also. And here we have Mehdi Hassan with his hot takes. With a politician, Ilhan Omar. A little Muslim cast, a little Muslim perspective on this. Both of them, quote-unquote, American, because they have the piece of paper. So they're official, and their opinions matter on these things, because they're just as American as you and I.
What I do know for sure is that, Charlie was someone who once said, guns save lives after a school shooting. Charlie was someone who was willing to debate and downplay the death of George Floyd.
What a disgusting bastard.
Police.
I think he called him a scumbag.
Right,
He
have
was.
no regard, downplay slavery and what black people have gone through in this country.
I love that line there. She has to separate herself from regular black Americans. What black people went through in this country. Those kind of black people. Not my black people. No. We're different. We're better. We're Somali supremacy.
By saying Juneteenth should never exist. And I think, there are a lot of people who are out there talking about him just wanting to have a civil debate.
A complete rewriting of history.
Yeah, that's what it was. He was just on stage debating people, opening the discussion for people to discuss, the conversation with people to discuss with them. And no, that's not true. He didn't want that. He just died doing that. That's not what he actually wanted. He wanted slavery. He wanted to play down black people. He wanted to persecute these poor immigrants and individuals coming to the country like us. Lies.
Nothing more effed up, than to completely pretend that his words and actions have not been recorded,
cause violence,
and in existence for the last decade or so.
His words, the things he say, are violence, which is why he deserved this violence against him, which is why Mehdi's more than completely fine in complicitly spreading lies and fraudulent truths about Charlie Kirk, that he didn't want to debate people. He just did that since he got involved in politics, He did it since his senior year, What are you fucking talking about, Mehdi? But no. Charlie's to blame. Look at this. Ilhan Omar D. Somalia should never have been let into our country. D. Somalia? The racism is open! Racism? Anti-Somalianism is racist? Somali race? What are you talking about? You're just spinning out buzzwords here, you dumbass. And brazen as it is disgusting and dangerous. Is it as dangerous as the bullet that hit Charlie's neck? Ilhan Omar travels with security and multiple people have been prosecuted for trying to kill her. I'm not even sure if that's true. I'm not even sure if there's any evidence of that. He's just saying there are all these people trying to kill Ilhan Omar. So obviously this is way worse than Charlie actually getting killed. We have to talk about the attempts on leftist lives and all the dildo bombs that were sent to them back in 2019. Oh no. Fine here. By the GOP's own standards, post-Kirk is inciting violence against her. They're inciting the violence by saying she's Somali. It's mean. It's bad. State Department warns immigrants not to mock Kirk's death. Free speech! Free speech! Free... we can have free speech here, man. This is about free speech. I'm allowed to spit on Charlie's grave. I'm allowed to call for mass violence. I'm allowed to spread lies about him. He probably feels very comfortable spreading that one lie right there, how he wasn't into the debate and wasn't about the discussion, because he knows there's zero consequences for that, because Charlie's now gone. Charlie Kirk, the singular leader of MAGA's next generation, who is survived by his wife and 2 young children, was a fierce champion of the right to free expression. Insanely opinionated tweet from a supposedly non-opinion news website. Also, this fierce champion of the right to free expression demanded I be deported and stripped of my citizenship because he didn't like a monologue on COVID that I did on MSNBC. He doesn't want free speech because I said a bunch of crazy shit, and he said, you're foreign and you don't belong here. Well, Mehdi, you are foreign and you don't belong here. And none of that is a lie. You weren't born here and neither were your parents. No, you moved here for convenience and political sakes. Some sort of opportunity that you're given from some higher ups or investors to elevate your opinions and beliefs, because here we have this well-spoken brown Muslim man from the UK with his fancy little accent that he really puts on as a mask, you know. It's not his real accent. You can get him a little bit ticked and he starts coming out a little bit more Punjabi, sounding a bit more Indian like he is. But no. Not only is some micro, news people, that's who Mehdi is, he's some guy they bring onto the news every now and then about this. But no, the mainstream news, such as MSNBC, like Mehdi referenced there, it was also covering this and spreading lies and rumors and downplaying the left's involvement in this.
Hate speech But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
Yeah. Hateful thoughts, hateful words, and expressions throughout the media lead to assassinations of Charlie Kirk. You're absolutely right about that. Calling him divisive, and he doesn't want to actually engage with the left whatsoever. No, he just wants to spread hate speech. Come on. Another one. Oh my gosh.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, to emphasize what you just emphasized,
Same
we
guy.
don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea.
We have no idea. It could most certainly not be a left-wing person and not a political assassination. It could be one of his supporters just walking around with a .30 caliber rifle and just shot it towards Kirk. Yeah, that's what happened. That's how bullets work. He just shot it up and the bullet just conveniently came flying down and hit him straight in the facing of his neck. Yeah, just total lies and nonsense, trying to downplay the whole thing that unfolded. Truly the scum. All of them are scum. And you know why they're doing this? You know why they want to cover it up? Because Antifa isn't a real thing. The public opinion isn't a real thing. Our rhetoric most certainly doesn't play a role in spreading extremism whatsoever. Antifa's just an idea, just like the ideas we spread. It's not an organized collective of people that are actively trying to commit political violence in whatever way possible, like Chaz, or the riots in D.C. in 2016, or even etc. later on. George Floyd, COVID.
Well, then, you know what? I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing. This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacist. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it.
Not militia. That's what his FBI director said.
Well,
Yeah, it's just an idea. White supremacy is the main threat. Look at the report from the FBI. This is the truth that I'm telling you. Donald Trump is spreading ideas that Antifa is a serious threat and has actually caused political violence and political, persecution in the past. No. They've most certainly never done that. And with all of the media spreading it, all the e-celebs, and all of the representatives in the government claiming how much they support Charlie's death, claiming that it's not actually a really big deal, and it's not the left's fault to blame for this, and that we just should come together, the public doesn't really care. And they're celebrating. The left-wing public, they're like, yes, Charlie's dead, woo! Let's go! This is what we wanted, folks. This is what we've been pushing for years, because he's such a piece of shit for coming to a college campus and talking to people. Oh, he said mean things to me, so he deserves a bullet. Oh, yeah! Charlie Kirk got shot!
She deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
Yeah, that's right. Nowhere to love. Oh, yeah, he's gone. Yeah. And that's just a snippet. I'm sure many of you have seen many across there before. And we even have posts from people on X all over the place. This one got a lot of attention. Maybe Charlie Kirk shouldn't have spent years being a hateful, demagogic fascist, and this wouldn't have happened. It's his fault. It's the right's fault for his death. Maybe he should take some personal responsibility for the things he said. Fuck these people, I do not care! They have grifted tirelessly for years to tear this country apart, make everything worse, and put us all in danger. When Charlie put himself on danger, it seems, every single time he went to a campus to just talk. You know, he was putting himself in literal danger to the point where it led to his death. Charlie Kirk wouldn't piss on you to put you out if you were on fire and an evil man who sold his humanity a long time ago. Charlie wouldn't care. Charlie wouldn't care if someone who was left-wing got assassinated or attacked. No. He would be perfectly okay with it. Right? Okay, find the clip. Find the clip. I want to see the clip. I found clips of Hassan, Destiny, and there's plenty out there for Vosh calling for these things. Where's the clip for, Charlie? He's got almost 5 million subscribers on YouTube. You got to be able to find one clip, right? He's been doing it for almost 10 years. And even more, this was actually a governor, I want to say, of Pennsylvania, or a mayor of a town, Pennsylvania. This is what MAGA represents. This is what Trump lowered the flags for. If this represents you, then I don't want to hear that you are offended, that I'm glad he is gone. Glad. Perfectly okay. Not just like, hey, it's not really that sad, and it's not the left to blame, but no, we're glad, we're happy, we're celebratory. And you can find posts like this all over the web, especially on Reddit. They love to shit on the right. They were so enthusiastic about Charlie getting blown the fuck out. They're just like, he lost the debate. Yeah, real funny stuff. He lost the debate. No, you lost the debate because you're unwilling to debate. And that means he won. According to blood sport rules, you moot them, you kick them, or you leave the discussion, you lose the debate. And guess what? The entirety of the left lost the debate to Charlie. He was the eternal winner. But no, they want to celebrate because they just won what they wanted. A man's death. In the neck. In the neck. And you don't need to see the rest. We don't need a repeat of their little jingle, their tone that they sing while they march in the streets about how much they love black people, how much they're not racist, and how much they despise the right, white people, and Christianity. Yeah, we get it. We're gonna hear that for not centuries, but years. These coming up years, we're gonna hear that chant going all over the place, scream about how they got Charlie in the neck. I'm sure of it, 100% positive of it. We also have this dumbass.
How do you feel about Charlie Kirk getting assassinated? Some people say it's deserved to get murdered.
Yeah, some people say it's deserved, and he's like, well,
Family? When God calls you home, you gotta go.
You think God called him home? It's
all
deserved. For him specifically getting killed, womp womp, he got what he deserved. He
got what
he just got what he deserved.
God.
No shame.
What a dumb, annoying, whiny bitch. For real.
Do you think it's disgusting to be celebrating someone's death?
Well, coming
No.
from a perspective
As a woman, as a black woman of color, I find it okay because Charlie was a racist. And if you're a racist, you deserve to get capped.
woman of color, and
That's what Floyd taught us.
100%, I feel like, because nobody gave a when it was MLK, Malcolm X. Like,
We don't like those kind of...
What do you mean? There were riots all over the place when those people died, especially MLK. What do you mean nobody gave a fuck? We're only to brainwash all the children about how wonderful and great MLK was and how he was a man of God and a preacher, when in actuality he denied the virgin birth, he denied the resurrection, and he denied Christ as even being the God, being God itself. You know, he was not even Christian. He was a communist. But no, we're all told that he was a wonderful guy that wasn't sleeping around in adulterous activities and engaging in massive orgies. No, no, no. He was just a good guy. And we don't need to hear more of that dumbass talking, because I'm sick of these people already. I've been sick for years, and it seems that finally, the conservative right wing, the more mainstream representatives are throwing in the towel on the left. You're like, you know what? You guys are unrelatable. You're unagreeable. We're disassociating with you completely, and it's over. This relationship, this democracy, and this representation of it is done. Toasted. We are sick of it, because when all of your politicians are coming out, and all of the public, all of the e-celebs, all of the media, and even people as lowly as a campaign manager for a large, substantial portion of the DFL here in Minnesota, being Leigh Fink, Brian Curran, and Alyssa Kowalski, says Charlie Kirk, why are you mourning the death of a literal Nazi fuck?
I mean, we know why. We know why. Not sorry for not mourning Charlie Kirk's death. It is insane to see the amount of people that want...
And you'd be insane to expect her to not look like this and hold these opinions.
To, like...
Literal bowl cut. What the fuck?
His track record, after his death. I'm sorry, but why are you mourning the death of a literal Nazi?
Literal Nazi. Literal Hitler.
We know why. We know why.
You give him this title, you give him this branding, and you're just like, yeah, you have this title, you have this branding, that means you deserve execution. Stoning, hung, chopped up into little bits, guillotined. Yeah.
But seeing that the White House is reacting to this, but not Melissa fucking Hortman and her husband and her dog's death, and a literal political assassination.
A literal political assassination? A literal political assassination that didn't have any involvement with the right whatsoever? Yeah. Who cares? It happened. And it was a big deal. And I did talk about it. And I have a second video on it that I guess I might upload now. But no. You're talking about literally the right-wing representation of the youth in America just got blasted on stage for words and the things he discussed. And you're all like, well, she was literally a House Speaker for the Minnesota House of Representatives, and she died because of mega chuds, right? Why would a mega chud shoot the lady who just got the Republican Party's in Minnesota, the Republican Party in Minnesota's bill passed through, you know? Because of her and her actions, a Republican bill got passed and didn't allow illegals to have access to health care, which is something we wanted. But no, they would have killed her for that. The right would have killed her for doing the right a favor. Like, come on, where's the narrative here? It wasn't certainly the left being a little bit cheesed and pissed off and ordering a hit on her because she didn't do what she was supposed to do as Speaker of House for the House of Representatives. Yeah, it's mega chud's fault.
Politicians, not just right-wing nut jobs, seeing people express more concern about this than the hundreds of children who have been killed by gun violence, which was part of Charlie Kirk's rhetoric, by the way. He said, you better be prepared to die for your Second Amendment rights. I'm prepared to die for trans rights. I am prepared.
If you couldn't tell, they identify as a disgusting pervert.
To put my body on the line for trans rights.
And your mustache.
He did the same thing for his rhetoric and his values.
Fuck him. He deserved it. He said he was ready to die for it, so he deserved to die because he was supporting gun rights by dying for this? Yeah. That's what happened. That's what he was trying to represent there on stage, was Second Amendment rights. It was not having open discussion and discourse with people who disagree with you and saying it's okay to do this and disagree and we can do it politely. But it would seem that's no longer the case anymore. No, it's over. Any public and positive discourse is finished. And you don't have to hear it from me. You can hear it from Charlie's good friend, Matt Walsh. I cannot unite with the left because they want me dead. They will spit on my grave when I die and laugh in the faces of my wife and children. There can be no unity with such people, but I will unite with anyone on the right. I hereby discard any grudge or personal feud I may have had with anyone on my side. Maybe we'll pick up those arguments sometime in the future. Now we have to stand together. And that's so true. That was the right move. Matt's just like, let's go. Let's get the ball rolling. Accelerate. Radicalize the right. Let's go. No regrets. No half measures on this floating boat anymore. No, we're completely separating. We're abandoning the ship. We're creating our new right-wing cruiser. And we're going to attack and bombard the left from every angle, united as one. Which is what we need. Which is what we're calling for. And it's what the terms and conditions that Charlie came to. You know, Charlie used to be a lot more lukewarm with his political beliefs. He was a little bit more pro-gay and pro-trans and all these things at his events, and he was chastised for that, which is why you might have heard of the Groyper Wars before, at least the first one, where he was getting heckled by people all over the place. Not just Nick Fuentes followers, but all these people, and it wasn't just his thing. I even went up there a few times. It was fun. But no. Now Charlie realized later on in life, as he became a little bit more entailed within his right-wing beliefs and leaving behind that liberal doctrine that was muddied up his brain and his ideas and his and things he stood for. And he's like, yeah, he started like kind of separating from them, being more vocal about his radical right-wing beliefs, which is why now the left's turned on him and called him a Nazi, even though they would have called him a Nazi anyways in the first place. And now Matt Walsh is coming to terms with this. He's throwing in the towel with playing in the game with the left. He's like, the game's rigged. The game's bullshit. The refs are working against me. And my opponent is trying to kill me while I'm trying to play a game. Nope. I'm going to go play with the radicals and have more fun with them and working with them on things rather than having any kind of relationship with the insanity that comes from the liberals, because that's all they will. They will keep on pushing, becoming more radical as more and more people on the right will try to sympathize with them, come to agreement with them, like, guys, left, we need to work together. We're not like those right-wing radicals. No. Matt's like, nope. I side with the right-wing radicals. I side with the right-wing extremists. I associate now with the dissident right and what they stand for. Because you know what? That's what Charlie would have wanted out of this. So this is going to be the first part in a multi-part series because I have a lot to fucking say about this topic. But I've been the King's Fool, and I hope you all have a good one.